Antonyms, beginning with un. Okay, we've got quite a lot for you here. There are so many antonyms beginning with un. Okay, and don't forget that an antonym is an opposite word. There's so many of them there that it's taken over 20 minutes just to give you some of them. Okay, so we're going to be going through a lot of antonyms which begin with un for you here, and hopefully you'll learn some new words. So what is the opposite word to able? That would be unable. Acceptable, unacceptable. Accompanied, unaccompanied. Achievable, unachievable. Adventurous, unadventurous. It's quite good when you can just put a prefix. Now don't forget that prefix, what we mean by that is letters in front of a root word. So what about approved, which is a passive verb? Attached, which is a passive verb? Aware, which is an adjective? And bearable and beatable, which are adjectives. Well, unapproved, disapproved, and I'll be coming on to that one now. I know there's two of them. And unattached, unaware, unbearable and unbeatable. So that's how the antonym is created. I disapprove. He disapproved of it. It's been unapproved. It's very important to note that a word can have more than one antonym. On to C. This is canny. This is uncanny. We are certain. We are uncertain. It is now chained. It is now unchained. Unchanging periods of time are common. Changing periods of time are common. Let's have a look at D with deserved. An antonym for that would be undeserved. Desirable, undesirable. Drinkable, undrinkable. Even, uneven. Expected, unexpected. Fashionable, unfashionable. Fasten, unfasten. Finished, unfinished. Forgettable, unforgettable. And hopefully this lesson will be unforgettable for all the right reasons. And there I am. Yes, that's who is giving you this lesson here. I am the creator of Stunning Lad 1, your stunning teacher. Right, let's get back to the lesson. Governed, ungoverned. Happy, an antonym for that is unhappy. And happily, unhappily. Happiness, the antonym for that is unhappiness. Helpful. Now, can you put un in front of that to turn that into an antonym? Well, of course you can. Unhelpful, like an unhelpful person. Identified. Yes, if you put un in front of that, it is unidentified. Legal. Now, can you put un in front of legal to create an antonym? No, you can't with that one. With that one there, you need il in front of it to make that illegal, and there'll be more about that later on. Some in sentences for you here. It is imaginable. It is unimaginable. It was intentional. It was unintentional. It's just. It's unjust. Here we are in Dubai. Known. Unknown. Now, another antonym for known could be unheard of. Doesn't have to be one word. Kind. The antonym for that is unkind. You could also say cruel. Loading. Antonym, unloading. You could also say emptying. Lucky. Antonym is unlucky. You could also say unfortunate. It is known. It is unknown. You are kind. You are unkind. I am loading the van. I am unloading the van. You were lucky. You were unlucky. You could always add an adverb in there and say you were very lucky or you were very unlucky. Right, let's have a look at these ones for you. Natural. An antonym, unnatural. Noticed. The antonym for that is unnoticed. Observed. The antonym for that is unobserved. Occupied. And the antonym for that is unoccupied. Now we're going to put some of them in sentences for you, the antonym versions. It's unnatural. It was unnoticed. It was unobserved. The building is unoccupied. And you'd want buildings unoccupied if you were the buyer. Nobody wants to move into a house or a building that has somebody staying in it. Let's have a look at these ones. Pack. And the antonym for that would be unpack. Pleasant. Unpleasant. Plug. Unplug. Now what about the antonym for place? Can you guess that one? Well, that would be misplace, okay? You just put MIS for that one in front of place, misplace. More about that in a bit. Okay, pronounce. Can you give me the antonym for pronounce by adding some letters? Which letters are you going to add? Yes, if you said MIS, you'd be right. That one there is mispronounce, okay? You certainly do not say unpronounce, okay? So pronounce, the antonym for that would be mispronounce. Can you think of other prefixes that create antonyms? As we have seen, it isn't just UN that does it. No, I'm afraid not. That would just be too simple. You can do it with DIS, dis, as in disenchanted. You can do it with ill, IL, with illogical. IM for impossible. IN, inappropriate. IR, for irrational. MIS, which we've just seen, misfortune. Quite a lot with MIS. It's easy to mix up the in prefix with the un prefix, okay? The IN prefix with the UN prefix. And here's some for you here. Inaccurate, accurate, incomplete, complete, inconvenient, convenient, incredible, credible, ineffective, effective, inefficient, efficient, informal, formal, invisible, visible. Okay, we have another video about antonyms on this channel. It shows you other prefixes that create antonyms, and the link for that will appear at the end of the video. Now, it's a good lesson. Please check it out. It's a bit shorter than this one here, but it gives you a lot more examples. Okay, back to the prefixes beginning with UN. Unproductive, productive, unqualified, qualified, unreal, real, unreasonable. You know what that one is? That would be reasonable. What about unreliable? Yep, that is reliable. You simply take the UN away. Unripe, ripe, and unruly, obviously, ruly. Safe, unsafe. Screw, unscrew. Settled, unsettled. Skilled, unskilled. Spoiled, unspoiled. So hopefully you're learning some new words here. Using not instead of an antonym. He is suited to you. And we've used a contraction here. He isn't suited to you. He is unsuited to you. It was surprising. You could write, it wasn't surprising. Or you could write, it was unsurprising. Okay, there's more than one way to show an antonym. Okay, can you write a sentence using the antonyms for these words here? Sweetened and thinkable. So you can pause the video if you like and write them down. Writing a sentence using both antonyms for both words. Okay, I know that came at you a bit quickly there. Well, you could have had drinking unsweetened tea is unthinkable. There are often many antonyms we can use. It is not essential that you use the one with the prefix. For example, happy and unhappy. There's no law that says you have to use the word unhappy. Okay? If you want to use the word sad or gloomy or depressed or dismal instead of happy, then you can do. Okay, here's another little lesson here. A little, well, participation. It'd be good if you could participate in this little test here. The room is tidy, okay? The room is tidy. The room is. What I want you to do now is give me an antonym for the word tidy, and it doesn't have to be just one word. The room is tidy, an antonym. You can pause if you want. Well, you could have had the room is a disaster zone. The room is a mess. The room is messy. The room is a shambles. The room is a tip. The room is unacceptable. The room is unkept. The room is unsatisfactory. And the room, of course, is untidy. You could have just done that there. The room is tidy. The antonym, the room is untidy. See all these different examples. Okay, are you being truthful? Are you being truthful? What I want you to do now is give me an antonym for the word truthful. Okay, so it's are you and an antonym for truthful. You can use more than one word. Right, well, you could have had are you being untruthful, obviously. Are you fibbing? That's a slang word, but people use it. Are you lying? Are you pulling my leg? Are you spinning a yarn? Well, these two were idioms, obviously. Okay, and you could have said, are you telling lies? They would be antonyms for are you being truthful. Let's try another one here. This time I've written them out for you, so you don't have to write these ones out. That is unusual. An antonym for unusual would be this. That is as it should be. That is expected. That is normal. That is typical. And of course, that is usual. Okay? That's the obvious one there. That is usual. The antonym there. Can we put un in front of usable to turn it into an antonym? We can indeed. Unusable. Usable becomes unusable. That's the opposite. What is the opposite word for wanted? Unwanted. There are so many with un. So many antonyms of un. Can you come up with 5 antonyms for this word? Well. Okay, finish the sentence, I am. Now, well, there's a lot of different meanings for this word well, so just be careful of this one here. It comes in an interjection form, for example, well, I think I can. Adverb, you could say I work well. Noun, I will throw a coin into the well, but what about an antonym for that? I am unwell. Obviously, I am unwell. That is the antonym for I am well. I am not well. I am the total opposite of well. I am sick. I am feeling under the weather. Not just limited to saying I am unwell. I am feverish. I am poorly. I am not myself. I am feeling a bit iffy. The list goes on. Just two now. Can you find two antonyms for the word unwilling? Unwilling. Two antonyms. Yes, well, you just drop the UN. I am willing to help. Willing is the first antonym to unwilling. You could have also had prepared. I am prepared to help. That is the opposite of I am unwilling to help. Are you unsure of the antonym for something, for a word? Don't worry, you're not alone. Don't forget, it's okay to do this. Moving. It is not moving. You can say that. Okay, it would have been stationary. Okay, that would have been the antonym there. Antonym for allowed is disallowed, but there's nothing to stop you saying walking on the beach is not allowed. Okay? That's helpful. If you can't think of the antonym, you can always just put not in front of it. Okay, we're just having a little break now because I know these words were coming at you there thick and fast. Just to tell you, there are lots of terrific videos on this channel here, so please subscribe, obviously, and check out the terrific playlists that I've got for you here. For example, you might be enjoying these photographs. There's a playlist for my slideshows to view. What's the weather like? It is the very opposite of cold. Just imagine you couldn't think of the word hot there. You could say that. It is the very opposite of cold. And yes, because people do say that. How are you feeling? I am the very opposite of good. It is definitely not appropriate. You could say that instead of saying it is inappropriate. Okay? But obviously, inappropriate is a bit simpler, so it is good to learn these antonyms. Antonyms appear frequently with adjectives, but all types of words can have antonyms. Alright? In the main, they are describing words. Alright? But as you'll see, it's not just adjectives, but adjectives make up the lion's share of them. Big, small, dangerous, safe, hot, cold, manageable, unmanageable, terrible, brilliant, wicked, nice. What about adverbs? Always, never, backward, forward, now, then. You can have quickly, slowly, usually, yes and no. What about nouns? Antonym, synonym, beginning, ending, birth, death, judgment, misjudgment, placement, misplacement, regularity, irregularity. A lot of people think that you can't have nouns, antonyms of nouns, but you can. Prepositions: above, below, in, out, under, over, up, down. So all sorts of different word types can have antonyms. Pronouns: mine, yours, ours, theirs, somebody, nobody, us, them. You may hear people saying that. It's either us or them. What about verbs? Arrive, depart, begin, finish, impressed, unimpressed, love, hate, give, take, start, stop, will, won't. Thousands of words have no antonym, okay? Static nouns, for example, like house. What would you say? That you'd say it is not a house. What about verbs? Singing. You're not singing, okay? The work isn't completed. You can say that if you forget what the antonym there is. Of course, you could also say the work is uncompleted, okay? So you can always say not. And that brings us to the end of that lesson. Please check out the other lesson on antonyms, which you can see there. It has just appeared, and that takes you straight onto the Learning English playlist. Don't forget to subscribe, obviously, hit the like button. That would be absolutely wonderful and appreciated. And I hope you will join me for the next lesson. And while you're here, why not check out some more lessons and some more videos?